with, but they're going to be out there. So we're going to start in a child's pose where we have the crown of the head reaching for the earth, so the chin tucked, and you've got your knees together and you're breathing into the back body. We are entering into allergy season, which you may be able to hear. I woke up like I'm so puffy. And so part of allergy season is breathing into the back lungs and just making the most of your lungs if you can. And we're going to stay there for a little bit of meditation, just focusing on that breathing and being in a little ball. And I'll guide you through. We're also going to create like a bubble around ourselves. Sound good?
I like it.
All right. All right. We'll see you on the other side. I pulled the card, the spring. Yes, refresh, refresh, refresh. I'll demonstrate that to speak, I'll have to be upright. So knees together, feet together, arms to your sides, palms face up, crown of the head to meet through. And if you need to, you can bring a blanket underneath the top of the head into that space. Whatever is going to make it doable for you. Maybe bring a blanket underneath the thighs. And start to relax the knees and feet. And we want to be careful not to put too much weight onto the head. So shifting your weight back towards your heels. Letting the shoulders relax, letting the backs of the hands relax into the earth. And using a deep breath to open the back body. Deep breath in through the nose. The count of 6, hold for the count of 4 at the top. And then exhale, release. You can release through the mouth if that feels right, or you can release through the nose. Inhale for the count of 6. Hold for the count of 4. And release. Keep up with that breathing pattern until it feels natural, until you're just sort of naturally inhaling. Maybe it's not exactly for the count of 6, but that the rhythm is innate. And maybe you'll find that your breathing is choppy, or that there's sounds that are coming out in your exhale, just embracing all of that. And start to feel or sense the space about a foot away from the crown of your head. And you'll see from that space a prism of light, a rainbow rising up from the earth. Feel the light of that rainbow rise over your head and your neck and your shoulder and down the back, over the ribs, middle back, lower back. And this rainbow will plunge into the earth about a foot away from the tips of your toes. But it continues to extend down into the earth, extend your vision into the earth and feel this rainbow prism light rising up and radiating up through the earth, over the tops of the feet, the shins, and the knees. Over the crown of the head, coming back to that space about a foot from the crown, and breaking through the earth, rising up over the head, back of the neck, the shoulder, the ribs, all the way down the spine and back, plunging into the earth beneath the feet. Continue to trace it in this way. Maybe the colors change as the rainbow plunges into the earth. Perhaps it looks more like stone. And then it emerges, shimmering and light. That light raining down over your body as you continue your deep breath. Two more rounds of breath, just like this. And then begin to gently shift to your third eye. Turn your palms down toward the floor, reaching back. So this is sort of like a fly. You want to think of the shape. Your arms are extended back, your fingertips are planted into the earth, and your third eye is grounding. And use the fingertips to extend the neck, draw the shoulders away from the ear. Round the space of your third eye and continue to visualize the rainbow that rises up a foot above your head, and plunges into the earth beneath your feet. And we'll gradually crawl the hands along the earth, making a round shape so that they're going to come in line with the shoulders. So just walking the fingertips slowly toward that place. And then dropping the palms to the earth once your arms are in line with the shoulder. Feeling an extension from fingertip to fingertip, a spread between the shoulder blades. Breathe into that space. Find your rainbow. Lengthening the neck, letting the shoulders drop down from the ear. And allow the fingertips to, again, still with your arms fully extended, walk to a Y shape. And then plant the palm. Round into your third eye, find your rainbow. Coming up onto the fingertips, let the fingertips walk toward your mat. So once your fingertips have reached the outside edges of the mat, rolled over, third eye to the earth, palms to the earth. Breathing into the shoulders, any tight spaces. And from here, with the planted palms, we'll begin to shift the head forward between the hands, coming up through a cow, belly toward the earth. Separate the feet, separate the knees. And exhale through a cat. Walking your hands into place underneath the shoulders if they're not there already. Inhale, drop the belly, chest, and heart forward. And exhale, navel to spine through cat. And shaking the head yes and no. Weakening the spine, finding that movement. If it feels right to do so, you can also tuck your toes here, offering that modification today. A few more rounds of breath. And then we'll all tuck our toes under. Walk the hands back toward the knees, sitting back on the heels, stretching the feet. Nice big stretch. Stretching into the toes, reach around, interlace the fingers behind the back, open chest and heart. Let the shoulders come down from the ears, let the neck be long. And release the tops of the feet to the earth, sink back. So we are sitting back on the heels, our arms are still, our hands are still interlaced behind the back. We drop the right ear to the right shoulder, and then begin to bring the left hand over toward the right hip. So maybe it's the back of the hand resting on the hip, but you'll feel this opening in the neck. Breathe into that state. Move this way to show. Your left elbow is bent and the left hand is touching the right hip or maybe even the right thigh. And let the right shoulder relax. 2 more rounds of breath. Float your head back to center, bring your arms behind your back. We're going to fold forward, letting the arms come up overhead. Crown of the head comes to the earth. Draw the hands up toward the ceiling and then back toward the floor. And drop your left ear to your left shoulder. And begin to bring the left hand to the right hip. Did I do that wrong? The right hand to the left hip. A couple of weeks ago, I lost all sense of right and left, and I don't know where it went. So bear with me as I relearn my sides. So the left ear is sinking down toward the left shoulder. The left shoulder relaxes. And then we're opening the right side of the neck. So breathe into that space. If you can relax into this stretch. And we have 2 more rounds of breath here. And allow the arms to come back behind you. We'll fold forward again, letting the arms come up overhead, crown of the head to the earth. Press the hands up toward the ceiling and then back toward the floor. Let your hands release and then begin to walk them back, lifting the knees up off the floor, stretching the tops of the feet. So, and if you can feel that your feet are kind of on a weird angle, just coming back down and adjusting, stretching the ankle, stretching the tops of the feet. Relaxing those toes. Begin to release the knee. Left hand comes out to the left side, right hand out of right hip, up and over. Reach through the fingertips, around the right hip. And inhale all the way up, coming over to the right side, round the left hip, reach the right fingertips, opening the side body. Feel that nice, beautiful stretch. And inhale back up, coming over into table once again. Take some cat-cows, but this time shifting your hips from side to side. And sort of, I guess it's like a zigzag position. So inhale, drop the belly and keep moving from side to side. So take this slow if you feel like you're delicate today, or you can move faster if that feels right, but just really find those nice juicy spaces to move into side to side. I'd be glad you don't have to be the one on camera for this one. I've done worse. We have 2 more rounds of a drunk cat cow, maybe you call it. And then we come to our neutral spine, sending the right leg out long, reaching back through the right heel. Let's pulse a little bit here just to feel into the morning leg. I think everything I'm going to say today is going to be indelicate. And then lift the right leg, reaching back through the right heel, left arm alongside the ear. I understand this is called catbird, or some people call it catbird or pointer pose. So let's lift the belly up toward the spine, reach back, feel it out, holding here. Keep lifting that belly, reaching out through the fingertips back to the heel, and then point the toe. Now we're reaching out through the fingertips and back to the toe, keeping the hips square, keep the belly lifted. And then draw into center. Left leg out long, feeling into the morning leg, a little bit of pulsing. Just to discover what we're dealing with here. Maybe also playing around with the hands. Position of the hands, pressing into the fingertips, lifting the wrists up off the earth a little bit. Grounding the space between the index finger and thumb. And then we go ahead and lift the left leg, reaching out through the left heel, right arm alongside the ear. Belly up toward the spine. So let's remove the curve from the spine. Nice long neck, looking down toward the ground. Once you found your posture. Lifting up out of the shoulders. Reach back to the heel, out through the fingertips. Breathing deeply. Reach, reach, reach. And then point the toe. Now we're reaching back through the toes, out through the fingertips. Lifting up out of this pose with our core and bring it back to center. Tuck the toes under, shift the hips back and up, ground the right heel, bend the left knee. So we're going to pulse a little bit here toward the right heel. So come toward the toes and then back. So maybe your heel is nowhere near the floor and you're just kind of here pulsing a little bit, making space, breathing into the back of the leg. And 3, 2, 1. Send the left heel to the floor, bend the right knee. Same thing on this side. Pressing away from the mat with the hands, pulse that left heel toward the ground. Rolling toward the toes and back. This doesn't have to be a big movement. And 3, 2, 1. Both heels toward the ground, belly toward the thighs. So the heels lift and then lower the heels toward the floor. Let's start to walk up to meet our palms. What we're going to do is slowly moving through the feet. Breathing into the backs of the legs until you come to the top of your mat. Heel toe your feet mat distance apart. Oh, no. Turning the toes out toward the side and then shift your hips from side to side. So start to relax your shoulders, relax your head into this stretch. Just let your upper body move Move with the legs. And maybe you start to see this movement as a figure 8. Relax that upper body. Maybe you let the arms just kind of hang there, or maybe you bring your hands to your elbows. Moving through the legs. 2 more rounds. And then coming to stillness, turn the outside edges of the feet in line with the outside edges of the mat. So we're turning the big toes inward slightly, and then fold over. So again, you can bring your hands to your elbows, maybe opposite arm on top this time. And then we're going to try that zigzagging motion again. So rather than bending the knees like we were just doing, we're going to keep the knees soft. And just zigzag from side to side with the arms, let the head hang. And feel into the legs, deep breath. Two more rounds. And then release the arms, walk the hands over toward the right ankle. So left hand comes to the right ankle, outside of the right ankle, and right arm reaches up toward the sky, finding a twist. Keep the knees soft. Maybe that right hand comes all the way around for the top of the left thigh, a little bit more of a bind. And release. Walk the hands over toward the left foot. Right hand comes to the outside of the left ankle. Set up your pose. Rotate chest and heart toward the sky and let the arm extend out of that twist. Maybe that left hand comes to the top of the right thigh. And release. Send the arms out wide. We inhale, halfway lift, belly toward the spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up. And exhale the hands to heart center. Heel toe in to mountain pose, feet hip distance apart. This is a good time to take a drink, or we focus in on our breath, a nice deep breath in through the nose that we draw up from the feet, nice and strong and powerful, feeling that pillar of energy between the arches of the feet that runs up through the sacrum, up through all the energy centers, up out the crown of the head. Nice strong pillar of energy at center. We're going to honor that center as we move through our sun salutation. So each posture, we bring our hands into heart center. So we inhale the arms up straight, and then exhale the hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. So your thumbs are pointing back, your pinkies are pointing forward. Exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Inhale. And then exhale, hands to heart center. 3 more of those. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one before we take it down to the ground. So inhale the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center all the way down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to heart center. Press into the palms, press the elbows out wide. Reach out through the crown of the head. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, step it back into plank. Lower the knees, press into the tops of the feet, lift the knees up off the floor, reaching back through the toes, out through the crown of the head. Draw the shoulder blades apart, nice and strong. Pull the belly up and in. And then drop the knees lower down onto the earth. Taking a cobra, interlace your fingers behind your back and draw the hands back toward the feet. So we're modifying our cobra. If this doesn't feel right to you today, take a standard baby cobra. So the kneecaps are lifting up off the earth, reaching back to the hands. And then plant the palms, downward facing dog. This is where we meet. Right leg lifts up high. Come up onto the left toes, right knee into the chest, step the foot through. We're going to rise up into a warrior one. So turn the back foot, ground the heel. All toes are slightly pointing forward, front knee over front ankle. Inhale, rise up. So there's a little bit of like a twisting sensation that happens in a warrior one in the back leg. Fully focus on grounding the back edge of the back foot, lifting up out of the hips, squaring your hips with the front of your mat. And then come up on the back toes, shifting through a high lunge. Pulse here in high lunge. Three, two, one, and then we transition into warrior two. Outside edge of the foot in line with the outside edge of the mat. Front knee over front ankle. Arms in line with the shoulders. Look out over the middle finger. Lift up out of the hips. Straighten the front leg. Right hand comes to the inner thigh. Left fingertips to the sky. We're lining up for a middle centered triangle. So we're not reaching down for the feet. We're staying in the middle body and adjusting the hips, adjusting the belly. Stacking one hip over the other. Bend into the front knee, side angle. Top arm comes down, around, and up. And top arm comes down. We step it back into plank. And then lower the knees, press into the tops of the feet, lift the knees up off the floor. Reach out through the crown of the head, draw the belly up and in. And drop the knees, lower all the way down. Coming into modified cobra, interlacing the fingers behind the back, opening the chest. Plant the palms, tuck the toes under, downward facing dog. All right, let's ground the right heel, lift the left leg up high. Come up onto the right toes, left knee into the chest, step the foot through. Coming up through a warrior one, so turn the back foot on a bit of an angle. Feet are still hip distance apart. Bend into the front knee, square your hips with the front edge of your mat, rise up. Build that foundation before you rise up. Round the back edge, see if you can shift your weight back slightly. So a lot of times we'll crash into the strongest muscle, which is our quad, our left quad. We don't want to give it all the responsibilities. Super mom that needs a break. Send some weight back. Pivot on the back foot, coming into your high lunge, and then pulse here, drawing the heel toward the floor, pulsing. 3, 2, 1, transition into warrior two, back edge of the foot in line with the back edge of the mat. Front knee over front ankle, inner thigh rotates outward, arms in line with the shoulder. If you ever cramp in the leg, just straighten the leg, come back in. And then straightening the front leg, left hand comes to the inner thigh, right hand reaches toward the sky. Let's stack the shoulders, stack the hips. Rotating that belly toward the sky. You can even use your hands to do it. Embracing the shake. Bend into the front knee, top arm comes up, down around and up, side angle. Press those hips forward, roll the inner thigh outward, ground the back edge of the back foot. Right hand comes back to the earth, step the back foot up to meet the front foot. We inhale, halfway lift our hands at heart center. Press into the palms, elbows wide. Exhale, fold. We inhale that channel all the way up through center. And exhale our hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale hands to heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale the hands to heart center. You can also add a back bend here if you like. Reaching back. Hands to heart center. We have 3 more. And our next one takes us all the way down to the ground. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to heart center. Reach out to the crown of the head. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, back to plank. Nice strong plank. And then we drop the knees, press into the tops of the feet, lift the knees up off the floor. Draw the belly button in toward the spine, reach back to the toes. Lower the knees, lower the chest. Inhale, Cobra, interlace your fingers behind your back. Open chest and heart. And then plant the palms back to downward facing dog. Round the left heel, right leg lifts. Coming up onto the left toes, right knee into the chest, step the foot through, lining up for a warrior 1. Bend into the front knee. Stacking knee over ankle, reach the arms up toward the sky. Deep breaths. Warrior 1. Focus on the back edge of the back foot. Pivot on the back foot, coming into your high lunge pulse, which is so annoying because my floor is creaky. I'm in yoga, I'm in space. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Drop the back edge of the back foot, warrior 2. Micro bend in that back knee, don't let the back knee lock. Straighten the front leg, taking that modified triangle. So we're not going for the earth. We're staying up nice and high and focusing on the rotation in the middle body. Bend into the front knee, side angle. Top arm comes down, around and up. You can also drop your fingertips to the earth if you want to here. And top arm comes down, step it back into plank. And then lower the knees, press into the tops of the feet, lift the knees up off the floor. Reach out through the crown of the head, reach back to the toes, lifting those kneecaps. And lower the knees, lower the chest. Inhale, Cobra, interlace your fingers behind your back. Open chest and heart. And then plant the palms back to downward facing dog. Round the right heel, left leg lifts up high. Come up onto the right toes, step the left foot through. Set up your warrior 1, grounding the back edge of the back foot, bend into the front knee, rise up. Find your breath. Pivot on the back foot, we're pulsing. I'm ignoring the floor. And 3, 2, 1, transition into warrior 2. Front knee over front ankle, pressing the hips forward, rolling the inner thigh outward. Keep a little micro bend in the back knee. Lift up out of the hips. Reach out through the fingertips. Straighten the front leg. Left hand comes to the inner left thigh. Right fingertips reach skyward. Stacking the hips, stacking the shoulders. Bend into the front knee, top arm comes down, around and up, side angle. Inner thigh is rotating outward. And then plant the right palm. Step the back foot up to meet the front foot. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to heart center. Exhale, fold. Inhale, up through that center channel. Exhale, hands to heart center, taking our sun breaths. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We have 3 more. And after that, we come all the way down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to heart center. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, back to plank. Finding your plank. And then dropping the knees, pressing into the tops of the feet, lifting the knees up off the floor. You got this, belly in toward the spine. And lower the knees, lower the chest. Inhale, Cobra, interlace the fingers behind the back. Draw the hands back. Exhale, plant the palms, downward facing dog. Right leg comes up high. Come up onto the left toes, right knee into the chest. Step the foot through. Set up for warrior 1. This time we're going to do a different sequence. Front knee over front ankle. Arms reach up toward the sky. Pivot on the back foot. Come up on the back toes, we charge forward into warrior 3. So reaching out through the fingertips. Drawing your navel in toward the spine. Keep your hips square. So maybe your leg isn't lifted very far off the earth. That's okay. Warrior 3. And then take a nice big step back, warrior 2. And spiral the top arm down toward the floor, step it back into plank. Lower the knees, press into the tops of the feet, lift the knees up off the floor. You got this, last one. And lower the knees, lower the chest. Inhale, Cobra. And exhale, down dog. Left leg comes up high. Come up onto the right toes, left knee into the chest, step the foot through. Set up for warrior 1. Inhale, rise up. And pivoting on the back foot, charging forward onto the left foot, coming into warrior 3. Square the hips, reach out through the fingertips, belly button points down and draws in toward the spine. Step it back into warrior 2. Whoa, that was scary. I'm not slippery. Warrior 2. And spiral it back to the earth, step the back foot up to meet the front foot. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to heart center. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up through that center channel. Exhale, hands to heart center. And 5 more sun breaths. Inhale and exhale. 2 more. And pause with your palms facing forward, drawing energy up from the feet, eyes closed. Standing meditation. Feel the energy shifting in your body. Maybe it's too bright in some areas and not bright enough in others. Sending that out. Taking big drinks of air through the nose. Ground all 4 corners of the left foot. Turn out at the right hip. Foot can come to the ankle, to the shin, or to the thigh. You know the drill. Hands to heart center. Find your point of focus. Find your stillness. If you want to grow your tree, I recommend growing your tree up through that center channel. So keeping the fingertips together. If the shoulders don't allow that, don't worry about it. But focusing on drawing everything in towards center. Maybe we call back any fragments, any pieces that may be lost out there, magnetizing our center to what is us, to what is for us. It all draws in. I find it infinitely more challenging to bring my foot to my ankle. It's actually shocking. All the little things we get to observe about ourselves with our regular practice. It's quite beautiful. Let's draw the hands back to heart center and release the right foot, shake out the left foot. In preparation to come to tree on the other side. So turning out of the left hip, foot to the ankle, the shin, or I don't know if it's the shin, it's the calf. The calf is the back, but also the side. Anyway, or the thigh, hands to heart center. Babble, babble, babble. All right. I was about to sing a Marilyn Manson song, but we don't do that anymore. All right, let's inhale the arms up. Up through that center line, drawing the navel in toward the spine, pressing the hips forward. Tall and strong like trees. If it feels better to get some movement in the wrist, then do that. This is your body. This is your morning. I can be really bossy, but it's still your practice. And begin to draw the hands to heart center and release the left foot, shake out the right foot, inhale the arms up. Exhale down through that center channel, forward fold, plant the palms, plank or table, and lower down onto the ground. Again, you know the drill with this one. We bring our arms out to our sides, starting with the right arm. We'll lift the left leg, bend at the knee, foot over toward the right side. Ooh, that feels good. And because we've been opening that space, you may need a different angle than normal to kind of find a different spot to open. Breathe into this stretch. What are you doing with your right leg? Maybe you stand it on the floor. My body's like, no, we don't. We can, but we don't. Or maybe you extend it out long. The left knee, you drop it out to the side. Choices, choices. Or no choices, just resting in. That's okay too. And top arm comes down. We switch over right away to the other side. Beautiful, juicy stretch. Fingertips to the sky. So you may have noticed by now, there are a few postures that I like to incorporate daily. Tree pose is one to create mental focus. And this is one of the others because it opens, if you draw the top knee away, You're getting an opening across the belly, the hips, the chest, everywhere that we really need that stretch to not only contraindicate our lives, but our practice as well, because our practice is very center strengthening. And the top arm comes down. We come back to center, hands underneath the forehead. Bend at the knees and move your feet from side to side. Just move those feet from side to side. And whenever you're ready, come all the way over onto your back, landing at the center of your mat. Send the knees from side to side. And play around with the distance between your feet. So if you bring your feet close together, where do you feel this movement happening in your body? And as you bring your feet further apart, so one of the things I don't do a lot of in our practice is draw the knees in toward the chest, because that's kind of our sitting posture that for some of us we do all day. But if you don't sit all day, you can feel free to also draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. But this way, the further apart the feet get, the lower in the back, the massage, the movement. We're continuing this movement. You're welcome to take a twist here. So let the knees drop over to the left side. And maybe you let the knees stay as they are, or you draw the right knee in toward the left armpit. Extend out through the right fingertips. Look over toward the right fingertips. Or if you want to set up a more formal twist, taking that twist now, sending the knees over to the left side. And then extend the right leg out long. And if you can, reach your left hand for the right foot. So it could be the right foot or the right big toe. And your leg is long. You'll feel a stretch in the IT band along the edge of the thigh there, still grounding that right shoulder. If your hand does not reach your foot, that's okay. Just extend that leg out long. And bend the knee, bring everything back into center. And again, find that movement from side to side, the pendulum or the ticking clock, whatever metaphor you prefer. And then when you're ready, send your knees over to the right side. Left knee comes up toward the right shoulder. Scoop up the right shoulder blade, place it back down. Rounding all the way out to the left fingertips and turning to look over the left fingertips. Deep breaths. The other thing we practice every time is a twist. And what is a practice? It's unfinished. That's how I feel. This is our time of reset, our time of wringing it all out. So anything we haven't yet released, now we get to. And then we extend that top leg. I'm going to keep a plant here. We extend the top leg out long, and maybe the right hand reaches for the left toe. And that just helps us to kind of stay in position, keep that top leg long. When you're ready, drawing back towards center. Shifting your hips so they're comfortable, or moving the knees from side to side to find that comfortable space in the back. Send your legs out long, arms to your sides, palms face up, and rest into your mat. Lengthen the neck, walk the shoulder blades toward one another, just bring that opening across the chest. And we're going to call on our rainbow again, but not before finding that center channel of energy. So though our feet are apart, we know that that channel runs between the legs, up through the center body from root to crown. So find that center pillar of energy, calling back any fragments, magnetizing whatever is for you at this time. Whatever is needed. Maybe you need it and maybe you don't. Maybe you simply ask for whatever you need at this time. And then begin to see that pillar of energy merge with the rainbow as it comes up out of the ground above the head. That beautiful rainbow rise up over your forehead, eye, nose, cheek, mouth, and chin. Over the throat, chest, shoulders, down the arms. All down the front body, fronts of the hip, the tops of the legs, the knees, ankles, and feet. And plunging down, connecting with the earth, follow it as it moves down into the earth, around the heels, the backs of the legs, knees, hips. Moving along the back body, back neck, back of the head. And rising up out of the earth again above the head. On each end of the rainbow, it meets with this pillar of energy at your center. Focus on this shape, or on this light, or on this feeling as you sink into your breath. And Losgunna came to us today in reverse. She represents sunken treasure, discovery of self, and adventure. And the message is this, it's short and sweet. Bored, tired of the same thing? A question we must ask ourselves is, are we boring as well as bored? The message here is to try to invent our own interesting. To use this opportunity to really hone in on our interest. What is fun? What do you like doing? And maybe you are waiting for inspiration or waiting for something to pull you up out of this state of being. But Losgunna reminds us it is better to jump than to be pushed. Overall, we're being called to bring a fresh energy in. So as you lay here for a few more moments, feeling that rainbow above you, that channel above and below you, the channel of energy through you, like a fresh breath of air, or like a cooling water. Feel yourself revive and refresh. New. Not rigid, but supple. Playful and open. So you may stay here if you feel like you want to continue staying in Shavasana for longer, allowing your practice to integrate. That's beautiful. Feel free to do that. For anyone who's moving on, I will guide you out of that now. So inviting movement into your hands and feet. And maybe in those movements, you start to feel that new energy tingling and surging through the body. It comes with it the fresh smell of new spring. And maybe you take some stretches, reaching the arms up overhead, pointing the toes, breathing into all spaces in the body, nice and long. And stand your feet on the earth, mat distance apart, rocking the knees from side to side, waking up the body, the spine. Pausing for a moment with the right hand to the heart space, the left hand to the belly. For your moment of gratitude, what are you grateful for today? That gratitude fill your heart space and travel out with the pulse and the breath. And hopefully, as you move through your practices, this becomes easier and easier to do. It's almost second nature. So maybe it doesn't feel as profound as it used to, but it's only because it's integrated into your psyche, it's integrated into how you already operate. You are already radiant with that energy. So it's simply about tuning into it and recognizing it in this moment. When you're ready, turning over onto your right side into the fetal position. This is your moment to recognize that you have made it through, to honor what you have done today on your mat. Just like we need to take those times to pause and honor the things that we do to survive in our day-to-day lives, to make everything work. That's our expression of love to ourselves. And then when you're ready, pressing up to seated, finding a comfortable seat. Garbage day, so it's loud here. But we're going to end our practice with the feeling of connection. So let's bring our hands to our sides, palms facing forward, and receive through the palms a feeling of connection. Remember, it connects us all in the song that sings the universe. Sings of kindness, of empathy, compassion, community support. In all of these ways, we are not alone. And we feel and receive that. We know that this circle is here for us whenever we should need it, simply by connecting into the memory, the pulse, or the breath. Held here in this space of connection. With this feeling, we walk taller and stronger through our daily lives. My guides, your guides, and their guides and teachers, all standing behind one another, holding each other in this space. Begin to feel the flow of energy from right to left around the circle. And maybe there's something you would like to send out into this flow. Out through the left. Perhaps there's an energy you would like to receive through the right. And without stopping that energy, allowing it to move from right to left around the circle. Maybe there's someone you place in this circle who you know needs this energy. Or flow like prayer, a communication with the divine, an acceptance and trust. Draw your hands to your heart, bow your head to your chest. Thank you so much for practicing with me today, always.